Before we start this beautiful no sugar, no grains, nutrition filled entree, I'm going to show you precisely where I bought my ingredients. Let's start by grabbing the star of our movie, our ribeye steak. We all know how unreal Alberta beef is, but this is taking it to the next level. I'm using a grass-fed ribeye from the Top Grass Cattle Company located just east of Drumheller, Alberta. These folks are committed to the well-being of their cattle and raise them without antibiotics, hormones, animal byproducts, or grains. Whatever they're doing, it's some of the best beef I've ever experienced. Punch basil pesto into your search bar and exactly as above should show up. Grab one container and let's go grocery shopping. For the remainder of our ingredients, we're going to hit Blush Lane Organic Grocery on White Avenue, Edmonton, Alberta. This place is to chefs as what Toys R Us was to kids. I just want to put it all in my cart and take it all home. When folks ask me what is the most important part about fine cooking, I always say it's 75% ingredient selection. Let's start by grabbing our vegetable components for our dish this evening. Let's walk over to the spaghetti squash, put one in our cart. Right behind you is the tomato section. Hike on over and grab 2 large hothouse organic tomatoes. Our last stop in the produce section is our herbs. Grab 1 container of the organic basil, and if you're feeling fancy, grab 1 baby chives. We need some butter, so let's push our carts to the dairy section and grab a pound of grass-fed. If you haven't had grass-fed butter before, the first time you try it, you'll be able to taste where you're paying an extra couple bucks for this delicious gift from heaven. All we have left to grab is our seasoning. I'm going to give you a breakdown of my blackening spice later in the video. If you want to cheat, you can always buy a pre-blend as well. Not the end of the world. You'll like this recipe though. I've been using it for years and it has a great flavor impact, as well as creating that nice crust on our beef we're all looking for.
Hey, here's a predicament we've all been in. Get to the grocery store, forgot your grocery list. You don't remember exactly the 8 spices in your blackening spice. Here they are, it's an easy way to remember. There's 2 reds, so 1 cayenne, 1 paprika. There's 2 ground herbs, 1 ground oregano, 1 ground thyme. There's 2 peppers, 1 black, 1 white, both ground. And then there's 2 randoms, 1 chili peppers and 1 sea salt. That's all you need. Put them in your pocket, we're on our way.
We're about to start cooking. Just a quick note, this dish is broken down into 2 different parts. The mise en place, or preparation, and then the cooking of the meal. The actual cooking time shouldn't be longer than 20 minutes once all of your preparation is complete. Your prep can be done in the afternoon with dinner completed later. As I mentioned earlier, here is the breakdown of my blackening spice recipe. I make batches using 2 cups of paprika at a time and then just store it off to the side and use it when I need it. I use it in everything from my jambalaya to my breakfast scramble. Let's begin our vegetable prep by breaking down our spaghetti squash. Slice the squash lengthwise using your sharp chef's knife. I found the best tool in my bag to remove the squash's seeds and the pulp is my ice cream scoop. It makes a repeat appearance later in the video as well. Once the inside of the gourd is completely clean, place it skin side up on a plate and pour enough water to barely cover the bottom of the plate. Place it in the microwave and set the timer for 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Check it after that. Your squash may need another minute or 2 of cooking time. Give it a little gentle pressure with your fingers and it should give away. Try not to overcook it though either. We don't want to lose that desired spaghetti texture by turning it into mush. Give it a few minutes before you start to handle it. It's really hot and it's easy to burn your hands. Take a regular dinner fork and remove the squash from the skin. It should fall apart easily and become string-like. Once this is complete, place it off to the side for later. We're now going to prepare our pesto tomato. This is a simple dish I make at home when I'm pressed for time. I start by slicing off the top of the tomato to be diced into a salad for later. That's when I take my ice cream scoop from earlier and remove about half of the tomato's seeds and pip and replace it with our pesto, a couple of leaves of fresh basil, some sea salt, cracked black pepper, and when I'm truly feeling indulgent, I finish mine with some Grana Padano Parmesan cheese. Let's place them in our preheated oven set to 375 degrees on bake and set our timers for 9 minutes. Okay, sports fans, this is where the rubber hits the road. We need everyone's full attention as we are now going to be cooking with high heat and things are about to get smoky. I recommend you open the patio door or crack a window for a few minutes. Let's preheat our stove to high with our stainless steel nonstick pan. Add enough vegetable oil to coat about half of the bottom. Let's keep a close eye on our hot pan as we season our steak. And just a quick tip, let's pull our steak out of the fridge at least 1 hour before we cook it. Starting from room temperature puts us way ahead of the curve. Take some of your blackening spice from earlier and add it to a small mixing bowl. Toss your ribeye in as to completely coat it, shake and bake style. Once the oil just begins to smoke in your hot pan, now is time to add your beef. Give the steak a couple minutes to crust in the hot oil on each side before you have it join the tomato in the 375-degree oven. I'm cooking this ribeye to medium as to develop more flavor from the melting of the fat. Cook your steak to whatever desired temperature you want. It's not like you needed to hear that from me. Once your steak is done cooking, remove it and your tomatoes and let them rest for a few minutes. Let's grab a fresh pan and now finish our spaghetti squash. The best way I can explain how I prepare the spaghetti squash is I'm preparing buttered noodles with basil and chives, but with this unique squash in the place of pasta. Melt down a few tablespoons of the grass-fed butter at medium heat. Add your squash to your hot pan and keep adding more butter as well as salt and pepper as it heats up. Continually taste it throughout. You will start to tell when your seasoning is adjusted correctly and ready to be served. So there you have it, Blackened Alberta ribeye with pesto roast tomato and basil buttered spaghetti squash. Once again, the second best part about this dinner is that it contains no refined sugars or grains. We get to eat this guilt-free dinner and feel satisfied without spinning our nutritional lives out of control. If you found this video useful, give yourself some good internet karma and give us a big blue thumb, a share, or even one better, a 5-star review. I'm David Husero. Thanks again for watching this segment of kale-free healthy meals on I Can Teach You How to Make That. Bye for now.